It is Suez, and that's that. We saw it like a couple weeks ago with remember the hantavirus that broke out on a cruise ship, and like you had a brief moment where all the people who were like still in the kind of COVID psychosis were like, I told you the virus is going to come back. This is COVID again. It's going to be worse than COVID. And they were like putting all these like predictions out that like it's just kind of like to me very revealing of the psychology of the person that is like, and I think we all know people like this that kind of thrive on the idea that like this world that we're in right now is about to end, because some crisis is going to turn it around, and like I need to be right about that. And we saw it with I think I sent you the Substack of like several. It's big on Substack still right now of this type of guy. It's often like a STEM professor, but it's also like humanities professors too that write these things that just like, look, I've read the data, I've laid it all out, and I've discovered something. Like we're all going to be in like food. We're all going to be in food lines. Like within a couple weeks. Like in July, there's going to be a crash, and like every American is going to be like desperately starving, and like that's just going to happen. And the people in the comments are like, I knew that, I knew it, I knew it, I know you're right. Like there. In other words, that fucking Fox Mulder poster with the UFO that says I want to believe. I mean, it's such a powerful idea that like it's so obvious to me that like so much of what we call politics are people that are just like projecting what they want to believe and need to believe because it helps them keep that basement door closed. You know what I mean? It helps them like it coheres their identity, and that's that. And like that's partly what I feel like when I think about Charlie Brown and the football is like, yeah, why are we all falling for it? I think if you answer that question, like why are we Charlie Brown and why is Trump Lucy? Answering that question requires examining more than we're willing or able to examine, even within the sort of media fucking landscape that we're in.
I think identity coherence and the idea that um, we get so overwhelmed with information we actually can't figure out the answer, even if we weren't invested religiously in fitting the facts or the non-facts.
Yeah, and I'm not, and I would never put myself beyond this. In fact, the only reason I'm able to diagnose this is because I recognize it in myself, and it's part of why I don't really comment on social media anymore. Besides just going off with you on this podcast, because I recognize that I have been that guy for years on like Facebook or whatever, being like, oh, by the way, y'all think this is gonna happen, but y'all are wrong. And like I fucking I can't stand that discourse anymore. And I recognize that I was that person for a long time. And I'm like, yeah, why was that? It was because I was invested in feeling like I knew something that other people didn't know, and that I needed to feel comfort too, like some layer of control. Like I'm endlessly pissed and frustrated and sad about the state of the world and who's in power, etc. And so the way I get back at any kind of agency or any kind of feeling of warmth and control over my own life is just to say, oh, actually, this is what's happening. Like there is an apocalypse. It was very true with Michael C. Rupert, and we saw that in the movie. And that guy ended up putting a gun in his mouth. And I think in part